So here we will discuss about the duties of directors and functions of the board. So we will discuss about the board of directors, the chairman, the executive directors and the non-executive directors. So here we'll start at the board of directors and the chairman. Okay. So the board of directors can be like split like this. It is headed by the chairman, and under the chairman there are like executive directors and the non-executive directors. So executive directors are full-time employees of the company who run the business, and non-executive directors are like a consultant who are outside people who come to the company and sit during the board of directors meeting, and they give their effective suggestions to the chairman and the executive directors. So this is about the board of directors. We look at the chairman's role here. So these are the roles of a chairman. The shareholders at the AGM appoint the chairman of the board. The chairman leads the board. He sets the agenda and ensures it is an effective working group at the head of the company. He must promote a culture of openness and debate, responsible for effective communication with shareholders. He must ensure that all board members receive accurate, timely and clear information. See, what happens here is, these guys, the executive directors are inside the company on a daily basis. So they are there on a 365 days basis. So what happens here is, the executive directors are insiders of the company, so they are with the company on throughout the year. But non-executive directors who are coming there to give their suggestions come only maximum like 4 times in a year. So they come only for a board of directors meeting, and that usually happens only around some 4 to 6 times in a year. So there's some kind of information asymmetry between the two sets of people here. So the information which executive directors have is more relevant, more timely and more updated, and it's more useful. Those information are not available with the non-executive directors. So it is the role of the chairman to establish that he gets the information from the executive directors and passes on to the non-executive directors. So that's the first role. 2, during the board of chairman also sets the date, timing about the board of directors meeting, and he ensures that he also sets the agenda of the meeting, like what are the things that are going to be discussed during the meeting. So chairman tells these are the issue items which we are going to discuss, and he circulates it around the executive directors and non-executive directors. Chairman also has a relationship with the shareholders. So whatever the shareholders' concerns are, or their grievances or their complaints are, that will also be like taken up by the chairman, and it will be discussed during the board of directors meeting. So effectively, chairman's role is to coordinate these two sets of people and to ensure that the agenda of the meeting, okay, the objectives of the meeting are achieved, and ultimately they satisfy the shareholders. The chairman helps to ensure that the shareholders are satisfied based of the running of the company here. So the chairman's role is crucial here. Without the chairman, there is no kind of a mediating person, or there's no kind of a coordinating person between the executive director and the non-executive directors. So one more thing, it is always better to have a non-executive director as a chairman, because then only he will be an unbiased person. So it is a recommended practice that chairmen should be non-executive people. So here we look at a very crucial element in the exam. So there should be a clear division of responsibility at the head of the run company between the running of the board and the executive responsibility for the running of the company's business. So what they mean is, a person should not be both a chairman of the company and the executive director of the company. So one person should not be the CEO and the chairman, and that is a very bad practice, and it is disallowed. So can a CEO become a chairman? Okay, assume there's a CEO, can he become a chairman in the future? The provisions are like this. The retiring CEO should not serve on the board committees that require independent representations. So it is a good practice, it is a good governance practice that the CEO doesn't become the chairman. But in case he becomes the chairman of the board, he should not again enter into the additional boards. There are additional committees like remuneration committee, nomination committee, auditing committee. In those committees, the CEO who has become the chairman should not be involved. So what does the board of directors together do? Okay, what does the non-executive director, executive director, the chairman, all of them together, what they do? See, these are the brain of the company. They are the top visionary leaders of the company. They set the direction for the company, vision, mission, okay, the policies, the guidelines, everything they set. Everything, whatever they set, it is like implemented by the middle management, and it is like totally implemented by the followed by the lower level management. So there are like the board of directors is a very crucial element of a company. So what is their role is? They provide entrepreneurial leadership, they approve the company's mission, they approve the strategy and financial planning of the company, they ensure human and financial resources are available to achieve the company's objective. They together review how the company has performed over a period of years. They are the ones who create the values for the company, the standards of the company. They also create the culture of the company. They also install risk management for the company, ensuring that the obligations to shareholders and stakeholders are met. So the board consults with the shareholders in terms of what they want, how much dividend they want, okay, and they act according to that. They also look at the integrity of the company, such as the risk management of the company. So these are the crucial roles of a board. Apart from this, they have a wide variety of roles like installing internal control, appointing internal auditors, running the company in a smooth manner, coordinating with the external parties such as the government, suppliers and financiers. So they have a wide range of roles that they play, and they are a crucial set of people to a company. So if we take the executive director, who is the CEO of the company, these are the powers that he has. The CEO has the power to design, develop and implement a strategic plan. He is responsible for the day-to-day operations of the company. He manages the committees and also all the employees in the company. He develops business plan in collaboration with the board. So as a CEO, if you are a CEO of a company, you have the responsibility to run the entire company. You have to create the strategy of the company. You can discuss about your strategy with the board of directors. If the board of directors approve, if the chairman and non-executive directors and the fellow executive directors such like CFO or COO or CTO, all of them together, when they sit together and they speak and finally they approve the strategy of the CEO, then that strategy will be implemented. So the CEO alone does not have a huge amount of power to do whatever he wants. Okay, so he is also within a confinement, or he is also within a boundary where he has to listen to other people also before taking up the strategy. So what is the accountability? So CEO is also accountable. The board grants the executive director the authority to run the organization. So why this kind of granting word comes here? Because shareholders are the owners. They give their power. They appoint an agent called as board of directors. These board of directors give some part of their power to the executive director, who is the CEO, to run the company. The executive director is accountable to the chairman of the board and reports to the board on a regular basis, on a quarterly, semi-annually and annually. The board may offer suggestions and ideas about how to improve the organization, but the executive director decides whether or not and how to implement these ideas. So this is about the accountability of executive director. So now we look at the non-executive directors. So non-executive directors comes under the board of directors, and you can find non-executive directors in almost all the committees: nominating, remuneration and audit. So we'll discuss about the non-executive directors. The board should preferably have a majority of independent non-executive directors. Okay, so if you say that there are like totally of 8 directors in a company, 3 can be executive and 5 should be non-executive. So, or at least 3 or 1/3 independent directors should be on the board. Okay, at least the company should have 3 non-executive directors. So what is the role of non-executive directors? Because they are sitting here, they will only come 4 times in a year, and that to attend the meeting. So what are they going to do in that few times of attending the meeting? Number 1, constructive challenge. So whatever the CEO comes with a strategy, these guys have to give their own viewpoints, and they have to tell how the strategy will work, what are the drawbacks of the strategy. They also scrutinize the performance of the management, like how the CEO has performed, where he is lacking, whether he is fit to run the company, or whether his strategies are working, so that they will scrutinize. They also satisfy themselves on the integrity of financial information. For example, if you take the shareholders, only link with the company is the financial reports. So the financial reports should be of a true and fair view, and as much as possible they should be a true numbers. It is the non-executive director's responsibility to ensure that the financial information is of honest and proper manner. So how they do it is, they do it through audit committee, through auditors, through internal audit, through internal control. So determining appropriate levels of remuneration, they also fix the salary for executive directors. They also appoint executive directors and also remove executive directors. So they can't appoint or remove, they can suggest appointing and suggest removing executive directors. So they also do succession planning. So there is someone called as a lead independent director in a large company. So one independent director can be named as a lead independent director. This director will have a direct relationship with the shareholders, and whatever shareholders concerns, views, their grievances are, he will communicate it to the board of directors meeting. So we have spoken about non-executive directors, and in some places we also mentioned as independent directors. Okay, so both the words non-executive directors and independent directors are same. So there is something called as an independence here. So the following people cannot be an independent non-executive directors. So who are the people who cannot become a non-executive director? A person who has been an executive employee of the company, have been an employee of the company or owner of a company, such as a supplier company, or received any payment such as director's fees. Okay, apart from director's fees, such person has received an ESOP or a performance related pay or a pension. If they have received any of these amounts, then that person cannot become an NED. If a person has a close family ties with the company senior management, he cannot become an NED. There is something called a cross directorship. For example, our company's CEO is the non-executive director of another company. Another company CEO is a non-executive director of our company. So it becomes something like a cross relationship or an X kind of a relationship. So we can't have that kind of a cross directorships. So those people cannot become an NEDs. A person who is a significant shareholder of the company cannot be an NED. A person who is a representative of a controlling shareholders, okay, a majority shareholder cannot become an NED. A government nominated person should not be an NED. A person who is acting as an NED for the last 8 to 12 years, that person cannot again become a NED of the same company, because he is like serving for a very long time. So these people cannot become an NED. You might have a case similar to this, and you have to tell that an appointment of such people is of bad corporate governance practice.
So if you guys really like the video, put a like for us and share it with your friends who might find it useful. So if you guys have any queries or questions, post it in the comment section. We'll be like happy to answer them. If you guys have any other ideas for further videos, you can put it in the comment section. We'll be like creating a new video on that topic also. So thank you guys. We'll meet in the next video.